Los Angeles, I go to the beach quite a lot, and I don't take that for granted. On the beach, there are paths that people can run while enjoying the waves, while enjoying the summer breeze, winter breeze, whatever breeze people enjoy. And then there's me, walking along the strand, walking by the sand, seeing those people run. And I look at them and just think about, like, that could never be me. Running? Like, who does that? Why do people run? Is it fun? Like, I just don't understand why people run. And then somehow, some way, February 2024, last year, I made a video last year saying I ran a 5K for the first time. Well, you know the title of this video. You know where this is going. But I gotta tell you the story to get there. February 2024, there was a banner that was literally just hanging on the street where we're driving down with our family. It says, Super Bowl 5K 10K run. I don't know what spark came from within me. I don't know what happened. But I looked at that banner and I literally made that decision in the car. And I didn't think this through. This was in 5 minutes. And I literally just said, I'm gonna run that. I'm gonna run the 5K. And then my dad just gave me the look and he goes, are you nuts? People train for that. You're just gonna run? Mind you, that banner, 5K, 10K Super Bowl run, that was like that weekend, next week. I only had a week to figure out how to pace myself and run a 5K. Comes that weekend, running my mile for the first time, spitting and coughing everywhere, which was the Wednesday before the Sunday. Ran again on Friday, and then Sunday happened. I ended up running nonstop the whole thing in like 36 minutes. Not the best time, not the worst time, but I finished. I ran a 5K. Never in my life have I ever ran more than a mile. And the last time I ran a mile before I ran that 5K was probably back in high school. I didn't care to run. I'm an athlete. I lift, parkour, karate, but like, I just don't think about running. I bike. I don't run. Not my thing. And then the year goes by. The year is coming along. And as soon as I finished the 5K, I got a message from one of my friends saying, congrats. Ever thought of running the half marathon? I immediately declined that answer because I just ran 3.1 miles. There's nowhere in my head, in my span of vocabulary, where I would say, yes, absolutely, I would run a half marathon. There's just no way. I would not do that. 5K would be my max. And then someone else reaches out to me. You just ran a 5. Are you down to run a 10? A 10K? I just ran a 5. Can I do a 10? That's double. That's 6.2 miles. Why would I run 6.2 miles? Why would someone do that? Is the question I ask myself all the time. Why do people run that far? I saw my friends sign up. So what did I do? And this was in March 2024. The next month after February running my first 5K, we decided to run in March right before Ramadan. And this is where I started investing in myself. I had to get shoes. I had to find the right outfit to wear when I run, because running that 5K in a 2-piece hijab, which is what I'm wearing right now, does not fly at all. It's just, as a hijabi, it's kind of suffocating, not gonna lie. And if you're gonna tell me to invest in a Nike hijab, an Adidas hijab, Under Armour, Gymshark, I tried those hijabs. I don't like them. They don't work. And whoever works out in a wrap hijab, I'm gonna give kudos to you, because I tried that and it's also not in the span of my wardrobe to do that. I need full range of nothing to get in my way. So I started investing in shoes, and the shoes that I ran in a 5K were a Vans Ultra Range, which were my parkour shoes. This, however, I have to really think about what kind of shoes I'm gonna run in, because it's 6.2 miles. 6.2 miles. Do you understand how far that is? That's freaking far. So I bought my first pair of New Balances. I went to a New Balance store and they scanned my feet. The girl recommended the shoes that she likes to wear, which was the first mistake, because every foot is different from what I've learned. You're either a wide foot, skinny foot, how big your foot is, if your foot swells, all of those components she did not tell me about. She just scanned my foot and then recommended the shoe that she likes, which honestly the scan just went throughout the window if she just tells me I like to wear these kind of shoes. So I took her advice because I'm stupid and I didn't know any better at the time, and bought the shoes and immediately was ready to just run a 10K. While running the 10K, we finished eventually in an hour and a half, because my feet were freaking dying, and realized that these shoes were not the right fit. Reason being because my foot was hurting me for 2 straight weeks. There is no shoe in the world makes your foot hurt for 2 weeks straight. There's no shoe in the world, even if you're breaking in a shoe, if it hurts for more than a couple days, you have the wrong shoe. And I ran a couple more times in those shoes just to be sure that it's not me, it's the shoe. Because when you're you're buying running shoes, it's already something that has to be broken in. People already start running in it. So I kept, I kept those shoes for a little bit until finally someone convinced me to sign up for the Long Beach Half Marathon. I made that purchase. Oh, I'm literally just looking at when I purchased this. I'm actually insane for doing this. Okay, this is my email. I just realized right now making this video, I made the purchase in April of 2024. When was the half marathon, you might ask? In October. I'm so insane for that. Why did I do that? I'm so insane for this. But honestly, the motto for myself is if I buy it, I'm committed. If I don't buy, the tickets for an event, I won't be committed. And that's honestly what I was going for. So purchasing the half marathon tickets right after I ran the 10K, right after Ramadan, was actually a bit insane and psychotic. But looking at it now, I'm actually happy that I did that. So this gave me the opportunity to start training from April all the way to October nonstop. And I kept pushing myself to run further distances every single time. I started again with a 5K, and then I had to push myself for 4 miles, 5 miles, 6 miles, 7 miles, 8 miles. And then there was just one time where I ran 10 miles straight. I ran 10 miles on September 14th, 2024. That in itself took me 2.5 hours to finish. And a half marathon is 13.1 miles. So if it took me 2.5 hours to finish, most likely the whole half marathon will take about 3 hours to run. It's not the best time and it's not the worst time. I'm not aiming to be the fastest runner. I'm aiming for a pace. And my average pace currently, it's not that bad. Yeah, that's the screenshot. That was my pace. Again, I just wanted to see how far I could run. And if I told myself if I could run 10 miles, I could run the half marathon. Even if I walked a little bit. And then at that time, when I ran the 10 miles, my foot really was hurting. I couldn't run in those shoes anymore. And I've had them for quite some time. So I had to invest in a new pair of shoes. And it's when at that time I went to not New Balance, but an actual running store of people who are actually experts in shoe types. There's also types of if a shoe is too stiff or if a shoe is too soft, what kind of foot do you need? And that's what he did. He scanned my feet. He told me that you're not supposed to have shoes that are stiff or shoes that are soft. I can't wear soft shoes. I have to wear stiffer shoes. I have to get a size and a half larger than what my actual shoe size is because of the foot swelling. I have wide feet. Running made my feet grow muscle. Go figure. Go figure. Because that lady, when she scanned my feet in New Balance, she told me she recommended the shoes that she wanted to get or that she was wearing. Turns out those specific shoes were too soft. And after my feet hurting for 2 weeks, I was recommended to get stiffer shoes and I was allowed to switch. Comes October. But before we talk about my experience in the half marathon, I want to talk about our sponsor for today's video. Me! I'm the sponsor for today's video. You guys, I dropped merch. And this merch is from my gaming channel, Samu Legend. Well, if you're not subscribed to that channel, go subscribe to my gaming channel. And if you're watching this video and you're still not subscribed, please subscribe to this channel. I don't know what you guys are waiting for if you guys are here for this long. But I dropped merch and it was my very first sweater drop ever because I've had a lot of people ask me, when are you going to drop merch? And now here I am, a month in dropping merch, and we need to hit 100 sales before we close the pre-order so I can get the sweaters to you guys. So this is the merch. Embroidered front, the gaming design logo in the back. I worked really hard on this sweater and I hope you guys will appreciate it and support your girl for purchasing this sweater. We also have corduroy elbow patches for an extra je ne sais quoi. Je ne sais quoi. But yeah, your support would mean the world if you guys go ahead and went to samulegend.com and got yourself a sweater. We're closing it at 100. And if you want me to sign the sweater, just let me know in the notes or send me a DM and I'll go ahead and put the sweater on the side so I can go ahead and sign it for you. Your support means a lot and I am eternally and truly grateful as always. Now to the half marathon. Throughout my journey of running, I invested into a lot of things. In the beginning of my 5K, I was wearing what was like a fanny pack as like my go-to stuff if I needed anything, but it wasn't really practical for me because it just bounces around a lot and you want something secure. So I eventually invested in a waistband, which had a phone pocket and a water bottle pocket, but it's not also enough to hold water or enough water and some snacks that I need if I were to run a long distance train, which is the half marathon that I was preparing for. So eventually I bought, now this vest did not come with a water bladder, which I also purchased separately because because I purchased the vest first before the water bladder, and I had to figure out a way to find one specifically that fits inside this pocket. So there was that. But then I had to figure out what type of running gels I need to buy so I can consume it during the run. And you guys, the running gels taste disgusting. There's so many flavors. I had to go to REI and purchase different kinds of running gels to know which one that I would personally just commit to. I bought a strawberry kiwi, some chocolate one. Eventually, I found the perfect running gel. The Myrrh Energy Cacao Almond flavor. This flavor specifically is so delicious. Well, it's delicious enough for me to consume more than one. Why do I have so many of them? Well, I'll tell you in a sec. But it only has 5 ingredients. It only has literally 5 ingredients. Almond butter, raw cacao, coconut palm nectar, blackstrap molasses, and pink Himalayan salt. That's it. And it was the best out of all of them that I chose, or that I've tasted rather. So October 6th comes along. We were notified that there was going to be a heat wave. A heat wave so hot, it was going to hit above 100 degrees. And this is October we're talking about. Initially, the race was going to start at 7:30 in the morning when we got an email saying that in order for the runners to be, safe and not get a heat stroke or dehydrated, they're going to start the race an hour earlier at 6:30 in the morning before sunrise, which honestly killed me, gutted me. I already am nervous enough about the race. Now I have to be nervous of making the race on time because the marathon runners were there at 5:30 in the morning. So they had to start even an hour earlier than us. No, you guys, I'm a loss of words. I'm already nervous enough. I can't even think of anything else right now. Anyways, comes the day of the race. I wake up, get ready, and I start making my way to the race start line. All right, I'm driving there. There is what's called the San Pedro Bridge that leads to Long Beach, and it was completely backed up. The time of arrival kept increasing, and I'm not even moving. It's currently 6 o'clock, and I'm still finding a parking spot, and I didn't even have time to get something to eat. I had a protein bar or a granola bar or something, and it didn't taste good. It tasted so bad that I didn't even finish it. I couldn't finish it. I wish I had a banana. We didn't have any bananas. I only had water. I couldn't even finish it. So I literally I think I had 3 gel bars. One of them I had for breakfast because of how disgusting the granola bar was. I don't even know how it happened and to stumble upon my lap. And then after another 10 minutes of finding a parking spot, I finally found one that's about a mile away from the start line. So I thought it was a good idea to have a good warm up to run to the start line, finding out that we still had some time before the race starts because there are heats. I didn't know what heats were. If you don't know what a heat is, it's basically people who start at a pace time. So if you think your pace is going to be an hour and a half, then you're more likely to be in the front of the line. Comparatively, if you're going to probably finish around the 2:33 hour mark, you're more likely in the back of the line. So it gave us a little bit more time than usual. So I decided that if I wanted to run comfortably, I need to use the restroom. And I thought, using the restroom before I left my house was a great idea. And it was, but I needed to do it again. This is going to be a little bit of a TMI, but this was probably the most worst experience of my life. The problem is, you guys, there are no bidets anywhere in America. And specifically, even porta potties, I wish they had bidets. If America would just invest in bidets, the world will be a better place. People would know what being clean is. Unfortunately, I did not have that luxury being in a porta potty. The lines were so long, they were running out of supplies. And I really, really needed to go, if you know what I mean. If you know what I mean. And when it was finally my turn to get inside the porta potty, I did my business and I looked to my left and there was no toilet paper. Now, I know a bunch of thoughts is going through your head right now of what did this girl do after doing her business? Did she find a way to clean up and make it for the run? The run, by the way, was in another 5-7 minutes. I did not have enough time. I had to get my big brain on and figure out a way to clean myself up to make it to the race. And yeah, they ran out of toilet paper. All what's left was the cardboard. I tried using the cardboard, didn't work. And I looked around and I just sat there in fear, for one, not being comfortable in the race, being smelly. Actually, those were my 2 biggest atmospheres. Until finally I turned around and I saw a stack of toilet seat covers. You know, the little thin pieces of paper? So I improvised and took a whole bunch of those and made that into my toilet paper. That honestly was probably one of the most clutchest moments I will never forget, because this was going to be a very, very, very long run. So I locked in. And by the way, I told the story to my chat on my video game channel, and someone commented that is the true experience of a runner. So you, my friend, have been knighted as a runner. So I started running. Miles 1 to 13.1, checking in at every mile. Mile 9, I decided to walk the whole thing because my foot pain was through the roof. And backing track a little bit, 2 weeks before the race when I ran the 10 miles, my feet were actually hurting really bad and I had to get a massage for it. I don't know why it was hurting, but I just had to push through basically. And when I got the massages for my feet, it really felt like it went back to normal. But as soon as it hit mile 5, the pain came back as if I'd never massaged my feet at all, which is actually depressing, but I'm already committed to finish this no matter what. And because I paid for the event and I want to get my freaking medal. And then comes mile 10, locking in my head that there is 3.1 miles left of 5K. Gotta finish strong because I've done 5Ks before. We've hit 10. Now we need a 5K left. And I pushed through so hard. And I truly thought that I was going through this alone. I did have friends with me that we had signed up with, but we each went our separate ways to finish the race. So each one is having their own mental battle running this 13.1 within an allotted time. And then as soon as I made it to the finish line, I found all my friends and family rooting me, cheering me on at the finish line. And these are the signs that they got me. You look hot when you sweat. I put your name on the goblet of fire. Should have worn your Heelys. No, literally, I should have worn my Heelys. On a scale from 1 to 10, you're a 13.1. Sada, should I call you an Uber? Really though. Finally, hurry up, Sada. I'm hungry. This one, my sister made for me. My bib number, 3956, and just so much love. I honestly couldn't believe it. You know what they did? My friends went and had an arts and crafts party without me to surprise me with these billboards. So 3956 was my bib number. And when I ran through the finish line, this is the medal that I got. And I paid extra to freaking have this delivered. 3 hours, 7 minutes, 21 seconds. Even though my watch says 2 hours and 56 minutes, but whatever's on paper. I was so proud of myself finishing this whole race. It really meant a lot to me to push my body to do something that I never, ever thought of doing before. It's just a lesson that no matter how old you are, you're capable of doing anything. And apparently there was this trend that was happening before. Before you turn 30 trend, people start running half marathons, which apparently that's what's been happening. And I ran with it. I turned 30 on October 28, 2024. And I ran my first half marathon on October 6, 2024 at 29 years old, right before I turned 30. So I felt that there was a pretty big accomplishment, a milestone, journeying to a new decade of accomplishments, of things they've never tried before. I mean, in 10 years, I'll be 40, which is crazy. But the story doesn't end there. And I know this is a long video, so if you haven't subscribed or bought my merch, please do. But I'm really happy about where this is going. So I finished my half marathon, and what did I decide to do? I decided to sign up again for the Super Bowl 5K, 10K event. But this time, I signed up for the 10K because I know I am strong enough to run further than a 5K of what I started with on February 6, 2024. So comes February 9th, 2025. I signed up for the 10K for the Super Bowl 5K, 10K event, wearing the right outfit for running, having the right equipment, which is my vest, my water bladder, and my gels, wearing the right shoes that does not hurt my feet for 2 weeks, and having the mind power and the endurance and stamina to make it through the race. That race took me an hour and 17 minutes, which was my fastest 10K time I've ever done. And I aim to go faster as well. But just seeing some moments from that 10K event really put my mind into a positive perspective of it's never too late to try new things. It's never too late to start a new sport. It's never too late to start a new hobby. And this video really I wanted to make for myself as a diary, as a journal entry for like one of my many YouTube videos that I've made. But also if it inspired you to run, then I'm glad. And if you're a hijabi and you're thinking about doing a sport, which I always preach on this channel, just do it. Find a wardrobe that suits you best and just do it. Not following that Nike motto, but it's true. It's never too late to start anything. So here's to my running journey, and I hope you guys get inspired. So don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Don't forget to follow my social media pages, including my gaming channel. Also, don't forget to buy merch because this is a great quality sweater and I worked really hard on it, and I hope you guys buy it. We're capping at 100, so I hope you guys purchase soon. Thank you guys for watching. watching. I hope I inspired you. Bye. Have a great day.